Um, I watched Where's Dad's newest video where he drew his favorite dinosaur, and throughout the entire thing, he just kind of complained about a lack of cool T-Rex facts. So, for him, I'm going to dedicate this video, and tell you 10 cool T-Rex. Fact number one. Um, T-Rex were most likely scavengers based on their teeth. Um, Now, scientists think that based on the way that their teeth were like shaped, that they weren't really hunters, as their teeth weren't suited to gripping on to like prey to hold them still and take them down. They were more suited to like tearing chunks off bones and crushing bones. And in fossilized T-Rex dung, I don't know how the fuck they found that, but they found bone fragments, which for main predators they don't really find too much bone, but for scavengers there's usually a lot of bone chunks left in there because they're trying to get in there and take the last of what they can from a carcass. They also think this just because of the way that T-Rexes are built. They're fucking massive. It's very unlikely that they would be able to chase down the more common like dinosaur to eat, and that you know they can't be ambush predators because they're fucking massive. All right, fact number two. Now, it's very speculated by the scientific community that T-Rexes can't do the fuck. Big old no-no. Because their tails, like clearly, as you can demonstrate from here, right? T-Rexes in real life don't have arms long enough for them to do doggy style, which it would be needed to get the tail out of the way. And it's also theorized that when the T-Rex women would get too horny, they would like flap their tails around. So it was dangerous for them for the men because they might get brain concussions and shit. So instead, what would happen is the T-Rexes would lay eggs, and then the boys, like the big old buff T-Rex boys, would just come all over them. Just like fish, basically like fish. Fact number tres, as the Spanish say. Tre- Tres. No, just three. Yeah, there. That makes sense. Okay. So I think most people by now know that T-Rexes were probably big old fluffy with feathers. Um, but one thing that's like I don't know. I don't know. I've been contemplating whether to put this into the video because it's like still being debated by scientists. But T-Rexes had afros. They had big old fluffy feathery afros, like Marge Simpson's hair on steroids. Like, honestly, the Industrial Revolution would be so jealous with the amount of black haze that would come off the heads of these monstrosities. And also, it's if this were true, it's also theorized that T-Rexes would have discoed. Like, disco has originated throughout the galaxy, like, since the start of time. It's just a constant. Like, you can't credit any one person or any one group with coming up with disco. It's just a fact that it's always been here, and it'll always be here after us. The Unfortunately, we don't know what T-Rex disco party would look like, but I think we can get a pretty good idea from my artist's interpretation. Can you? Yeah, there we go. Can you add a disco ball as well? Unfortunately for the T-Rex, though, as far as we know, they're the only ones in their time period that really knew how to boogie. Um, Stegosauruses, they had two left feet. Let's be honest, not the best for trying to. Oh, is that okay? That's a that's a turtle. Yeah. So unfortunately for the T-Rexes, being solitary animals, the prehistoric disco parties were just parties for one, and the T-Rexes were the only ones invited. All right, fact number 4. Here we go. So again, this one's kind of debated, but it's in recent years has been, more widely regarded to be the truth. Um, T-Rexes invented sushi. I'm sorry, Japanese, but they invented sushi. They had the perfect arms for it compared to all the other dinosaurs. They could just reach flat out to a table, and there they were, perfect reach of the rice and the seaweed. They were masters. Their tiny hands were perfect for making tiny little sushi rolls. Um, Unfortunately though, like Japanese traditional sushi involves fish. Um, for T-Rexes, it involved just other dinosaurs. There's been evidence that they might have had fish, but as far as we're aware, it seems like it might have been out of their technological capabilities at the time. Um, Also, um, more accepted now is that they would use this sushi to lure in potential mates, as the smell is it's the only cooking at the time, so it would waft for kilometers, and it would draw the ladies in. They, oh, dude, if T-Rexes were good at making sushi, they'd get it. And this is exactly what Charles Darwin was talking about when he came up with natural selection. Because the better sushi makers among the T-Rex got the more puss, um, they could make sushi better in further generations because the sushi making skills would go down the genetics, and it would just keep going. It wasn't a survival for the fittest. It was a survival for the fishest. Factoroid number 5. Jeez, you need to catch up. Um, Now, in recent years, we've discovered that the Earth is in fact round. So, scientists have realized that, oh, if we were wrong about the Earth, we might have also been wrong about T-Rexes. And when they went back, they realized that, oh, there's a reason that they have those stupid short little arms, and it's because they evolved to be able to rest on the curves of the Earth without falling off. Now, this is because their little tiny hook hands made the perfect grips to latch onto the curvature of the Earth, and their feet were perfect for anchoring them in place. So they got a good night's rest when the Stegosaurus was up in his tree, trying not to fall out, and all the other dinosaurs were just almost falling off the Earth. Meanwhile, the T-Rex was perfectly asleep and having a fun old time. Fact 7! Now, T-Rexes evolved to use tools. Now, this is much like another group of dinosaurs, humans. Um, T-Rexes, however, involved much more simpler tools by the time of their extinction. They started out with bobcat diggers and construction cranes, and I, they believed that their ultimate goal might have been to invent the electric guitar. Um, we're not sure why, but many speculate that it might have been to improve their sushi skills. Just really exercise for their sushi folding muscles. Because their tiny little fingers are perfect for plucking guitar strings. Um, they don't even need a pick. They just jam out. So one thing that really confuses scientists is that they're not sure what the fuck they would use them for. Of course, the sushi, but why did it need to be an electric guitar? We haven't found any evidence of them using amps, So we don't know how they got sound from it. Maybe it's some Atlantis level bullshit where they just have amazing mega technology where they don't need amps. Maybe the guitars included amps, but um, again, it could also be for disco. Like, we don't know. There's so many possibilities that they could have used these electric guitars for, but like, there's not enough evidence to make any conclusions. I'm not going to go through and list the whole conspiracy theory index guide 2019 of what T-Rexes could use electric guitars for, because that would take so long. I would have to become a dedicated electric guitar Afro disco T-Rex fax channel, and honestly, I don't think I could keep up with that. It would wreck me. I would be onto heroin straight away. Like, I don't know. My life would be in shambles. You think Britney Spears' meltdown would be fucking comparable to my shit? Nah, nah. I would be injecting heroin by the bucketful. And cocaine? That's just air. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know where I'm going to get it all, but like presumably when you have a mental breakdown, it just appears. So, if I post a second T-Rex facts video, just know that this channel's dead, because I'll be dead. I'll be dead just instantly as soon as I drink that whole bucket of heroin. Fact number 8. The T-Rex was seriously big. Like, enormously big. Think bigger. Big brain. Perfect. This beast could grow up to 12 meters long and 6 meters tall. They had a bite crush force. That's the bite that it puts onto something when it bites, of 29,000 Adam Sandler jumps. This was enough to cleanly snap a human in half. Fortunately, we've contained all of the T-Rexes in Jurassic Park, so we're pretty lucky that in modern society we don't have to deal with it, but there's still a chance that one could break out, and by God, it would be unstoppable. They could sneak into houses with their sushi-like ninja skills. They could cut furniture in half with their expertly trained electric guitar fingers. Their afros act as dampeners for the sound they make, meaning it's almost impossible to hear them coming. They can run at speeds up to 90,000 kilometers an hour, meaning that if one did escape, it could be right next to you, and it's likely you wouldn't know. Also, they had the power to just crush people. Like, because they're so big, they could just sit on someone and they'll die. Like, I don't know what's happening right now on the screen, but like, right? This is you. And if a T-Rex came along and sat on you, this is what you would be. This you'd there's nothing left. T-Rexes are unstoppable nightmare beasts. 9. Now, I know that animated films don't often get the best rep, but this one is near and dear to my heart. The movie franchise Toy Story, a little known character called Rex. He was actually mocapped by an actual T-Rex. As you can see here very clearly, that his size is a lot smaller compared to the massive behemoths that were normal T-Rexes. They actually genetically engineered him to be the size of a toy. Also, they waited until he was about like 50 for when he started balding, so he would no longer have the afro. And to keep him contained and less violent throughout the filming of Toy Story, they took away his electric guitar privileges. They only fed him sushi so that he didn't have a chance to learn how to make it. And they kept him in a cage. Honestly, it's one of the worst cases of animal cruelty in the 20th century. And more people need to know about it. Now, it's it's sad because as many people that love Toy Story, no one seems to know this, and it breaks my heart because shortly after filming finished on Toy Story 4, the most recent one, um, Rex committed suicide. Like another child actor of our age, Morgan Freeman. He jumped off the Empire State Building and plummeted the near 1,000 floors to his death, and no one noticed because he was so tiny and frail. Too sad. Just stop the recording. Fact number 10. You're gay! Okay, guys. I want to thank you all for watching, and just I want you to spread the news about Rex. Like we can't have lost another perfect child actor. Um, Also, go check out Where's Dad's channel. It's the whole reason I made this. He's really funny and also a dumbass, so don't subscribe to him. Let him burn in a fire and rape and pillage his household.